How do you defeat an enemy that lives inside your own head? We treat our negative thoughts like invaders. We fight them, we argue with them, we try to push them away. But have you noticed, the more you fight them, the stronger they get? What if the secret to defeating them is not to fight them at all? This was the battle that consumed a young warrior named Kael. His skill with a sword was legendary in the valleys below. He was strong, he was fast, he was precise. But for all his victories on the battlefield, he was losing the war inside his own mind. In the quiet hours before dawn, he would practice in a misty forest. His blade would slice through the air, a silver blur against the ancient trees. But he wasn't fighting a physical foe. He was fighting shadows, the ghost of a past mistake, the whisper of a future failure, the taunting voice that said he was not good enough, that his triumphs were mere luck, soon to run out. Be silent, he would scream, his voice raw and desperate, echoing through the empty woods. He would swing his sword with a frantic energy, trying to cut down the invisible demons that haunted him. He believed that peace was a prize to be won, a final victory after one last brutal fight. He thought he had to kill these thoughts, to conquer them with the same force he used to defeat his enemies. But the more he fought, the more the shadows danced and multiplied. The more he screamed, the louder the voices became. Exhausted and broken, not by a sword, but by a thought, he knew his warrior's path had failed him. His strength was useless here. Desperate, his spirit as weary as his body, Kael began a long journey. He left the valley of his battles and began to climb. He climbed the great mountain that touched the clouds, seeking the high temple, a place of quiet legend. He sought the one they called the guide, an old master named Ren, who was said to understand the nature of the mind. After days of climbing, Kael finally reached the peak. He found the temple, a place of profound silence nestled among the clouds. And there, beside a perfectly still koi pond, sat Master Ren. The old man was not meditating in some complex posture. He was not chanting ancient texts. He was simply sitting, doing nothing. His presence was as calm and deep as the pond beside him. Kael approached, his heavy warrior's boots loud against the silent stones. He dropped to his knees and bowed his head. "Master," he pleaded, his voice cracking with exhaustion, "please teach me how to kill the demons in my mind. They are too strong for me. I fight them with all my might, but they only grow stronger. I need your wisdom. I need a weapon that can defeat them." Master Ren slowly opened his eyes. They held no judgment, only a vast, peaceful emptiness. He looked not at Kael, but at the pond, its surface a perfect mirror of the sky. Then he looked at a thick, heavy branch lying nearby. Without a word, he gestured for Kael to pick it up. He then pointed to the water. "Strike the water," Ren commanded, his voice soft but clear. "Make the ripples stop." Confused but obedient, Kael took the heavy branch. It felt familiar in his hands, like the hilt of his sword. He stood over the pond, took a deep breath, and brought the branch down with all his warrior's strength. The branch smashed into the surface. Water erupted, splashing everywhere. The peaceful mirror was shattered into 1,000 chaotic, violent waves, slapping against the edges of the pond. Kael struck again and again, trying to beat the water into stillness. He panted, sweat mixing with the water on his face. "Master, it is not working," he cried out in frustration. "The more I strike, the more waves I create. It is impossible." A small, knowing smile touched Master Ren's lips. "Exactly," he said softly. "You cannot use force to calm water. The harder you strike, the more you disturb it. To make the water still, you must leave it alone. You must allow it to find its own peace. Kael stared at the turbulent water, then at the old master. He was beginning to understand, but the lesson was not yet complete. Ren continued, his voice calm and steady. Your negative thoughts, he explained, are like an unwelcome guest knocking at your door. He is loud, he is rude, he insults you and tells you that you are worthless. As a warrior, your instinct is to throw open the door and fight him. You yell back, you argue, you try to push him away. Ren paused, letting the image sink in. But when you do this, what happens? He stays. He has your attention. He has your energy. He thrives on your struggle. The fight itself is what he came for. Now, what if you tried something different? You hear the knocking. You know the unwelcome guest is there. You acknowledge him. You can say to yourself, ah, there is the guest of self-doubt again. Or, I hear the guest of fear knocking. You notice he is there, but you do not open the door. You do not invite him in for tea. You do not argue with him through the keyhole. You simply let him knock. You turn your attention back to what you were doing, preparing your meal, reading your book, mending your clothes. What happens to a guest who is ignored? A guest who is given no energy, no argument, no attention. Eventually, he grows tired. He gets bored. He sees there is nothing for him here, and he leaves, all on his own. You do not defeat him by war, Kael. You defeat him by starvation. You starve him of your attention. It was as if a bolt of lightning had struck Kael's mind. He looked from the master to the now settling water in the pond, to the heavy branch in his hands, the weapon, the tool of force. He dropped it. It clattered on the stone path. In that moment, he saw it all with perfect clarity. For years, he had been feeding his own demons, his rage, his arguments, his fear, his resistance. It was not their strength that was defeating him. It was the energy he was giving them. His resistance was their food. His war was their lifeblood. He didn't need to be a stronger warrior. He just needed to be a bad host. A profound sense of release washed over him. The tension he had carried in his shoulders for years, the tight knot in his stomach, simply dissolved. He bowed deeply to Master Ren, not as a warrior seeking a weapon, but as a man who had finally found the path to peace. We do not end our story at the temple. We return to the valley with Kael. He is walking along a familiar path, the same one where he used to fight his shadows. As he walks, a dark thought approaches him. It arrives as a whisper on the wind, a fleeting shadow at the edge of his vision. You are not good enough, it says. You will fail. The old Kael would have stopped. He would have drawn his sword. He would have screamed back, starting the endless argument all over again. But this is the new Kael. He hears the voice. He sees the shadow. He doesn't fight it. He doesn't run from it. He simply looks at it, gives a slight, almost imperceptible nod, as if to say, I hear you, and then he keeps walking. He does not break his stride. He does not give it his energy. The shadow, starved of the attention it needs to survive, hesitates. It has no power here, no purchase on this mind. And then, like smoke in the wind, it fades away into nothing. Kael keeps walking, his steps light, his mind as clear and calm as the mountain pond. The moral is that you cannot defeat negative thoughts by fighting them, as resistance only gives them power. The only way to free yourself is to starve them of your attention. Observe them, acknowledge their presence, and let them pass like clouds in the sky. If you're struggling with your thoughts, remember, you don't have to fight this battle alone. Talking to a therapist or a trusted friend can make all the difference. Your mental health is important, and support is always available. Thanks for watching.